Here's an interesting fact. This movie was actually filmed in my country, Australia, and largely in my city, Melbourne. Yeah, that's crazy. I honestly didn't think that would ever be the case. Now, I thought Liam Neeson was done with action movies after The Marksman. At least that's what I thought when I reviewed that movie about a year ago. I mean, he did do The Ice Road last year, like around June or July or something like that, which was another action thriller. Unfortunately, I didn't watch that. That didn't really appeal to me. But now he's done this one. Blacklight, yet another action thriller. Good old Liam Neeson. Though he is around 68 or 69 years old now, I feel like he is getting to the end of his action-oriented movies, and his age really did show in this one. What a good run he has had. If you know me, you know that I love a good Liam Neeson movie. I mean, his movies, while not the best, are a joy to watch, largely because of him. I just think he just seems like such a genuinely nice guy, and it definitely showed in this movie. In Blacklight, Liam Neeson is Travis Block, a shadowy government agent who uncovers a deadly conspiracy within his organization that threatens not only innocent people, but his loved ones that he swore to protect. And in this movie, he has to fight to protect them and live a normal life. I love how Liam Neeson plays basically the same character in basically all of his action movies. Now, I was going to this movie with pretty low expectations. I was just expecting a smack bang average generic action movie, and that's largely what I got. But I'm not going to lie though, I actually did enjoy some aspects of this film and felt like it had a lot of potential. It just didn't deliver in the way I thought it would while watching it. The action isn't amazing, by all means. Some parts were somewhat exciting. At one point it felt like a Home Alone or Rambo Last Blood sequence in a way, but I mean, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. In regards to the story, however, this is one aspect I actually somewhat enjoyed. It was interesting and engaging, and it's something that unravels itself as the movie progresses. Sure, at first it, wasn't the best. It just felt like we were kind of thrown into the movie and didn't know too much, mostly with Liam Neeson's character. So much has happened to his character in the past that we don't really feel anything too much for him. Anything too much for, what am I saying? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that we don't really learn to care for him that much because we don't really know what he went through or whatever. But over time, we start to learn a lot about his character, about his past, and how that plays in part with the story and the ultimate villain of the movie. We don't see him in action too much, but when we do, we see the skills and tricks that he's learned along the way. But this movie mainly revolves around him finding himself, who he is, what he wants to do, and how he affects the people surrounding him, like his granddaughter, for example. And that's great, I love seeing the scenes with Travis Block and his daughter and granddaughter. It showed how much he cared about them while also having an on and off relationship as well. Like, he wants to settle down with them and live a normal life, but his line of work just prevents him from doing that. So there's a bit of tension there. But you would think that, okay, with his family in the picture, that the movie will get pretty emotional and have a much bigger sense of urgency, right? Unfortunately, that isn't the case. And look, I did really like the way the story progressed, but there was another way I could have seen the movie go, which could have made the movie a whole lot more emotional, because for the most part, it just wasn't, which is something I feel is lacking, especially in a movie like this one where you've got the family involved, That's as vague as I could possibly make it to try to avoid spoilers, because this could be considered a spoiler, so I'm going to leave it right up to the end, right up to the very end after my official rating of the movie. Blacklight is a movie that leaves you in the dark with its story. It's intriguing but not very interesting right up until things start happening and the plot starts unraveling itself. But like I said, this movie could have been so much more. But I actually did somewhat enjoy this movie. It was okay. but I am aware that not everyone will like this one. I mean, currently at the time of recording, it has like a 6% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 70 or something around about then percent audience score, which is pretty crazy. I know critics sometimes are too critical and the audience scores are sometimes too nice, but that's a drastic difference that I'm not used to seeing. I think I enjoyed this movie more because I was going in with pretty low expectations, but also because of something else. Like I said, this movie was filmed in my country, mostly my city. I mean, I kind of knew about it like beforehand. I got a hint off of some local news channel, but it was more surreal and insane seeing places in the movie that looked oddly familiar. And I'm pretty sure this was the first film shot at the Melbourne Exhibition Centre, at least on such a huge global level. That's crazy. Huge respect, and because of that, I am going to mark the movie way more highly. Nah, I'm just kidding. The funny thing is that they don't even mention Australia or anything remotely close to that country in this movie. Despite being filmed in Australia, there were some signs that said that it was Washington DC. There were United States flags everywhere, and almost everyone in the movie had an American accent. It was weird too because I was looking at the roads for hints, because here in Australia we drive on the left, right? And I swear some parts in this movie there was driving on the left side and there was driving on the right side. I don't know. I'm not too really sure, but I did keep close attention, so that's what it looked like. Regardless though, I think this might have been one of the best aspects of the film for me, that it was filmed in my hometown. But overall, this movie wasn't amazing or anything like that. It was decent, but ultimately wasted potential. And I'll get to what I mean with that in a second. I'm going to give Blacklight a B-. Okay, so here's what I was going to say, which might count as spoilers, just an FYI. But with Travis Block's family disappearing, I was actually hoping that would happen because, you know, that would make it more emotional and have more of a sense of an urgency because now it's personal. So huge thumbs up for that. But with that happening, we don't know where they went. We don't know what exactly happened to them. Like, it would have been better if Travis went and tried to go to save them, or his granddaughter ended up on the phone with him and was like, oh, save us, granddaddy, or something like that, because it largely felt like they just disappeared and wasn't even mentioned again. Like, what did the villain do to them? I'm so confused. So yeah, like the way the story progressed, just didn't like the execution of it. There were also some very weird random transitions in this movie where it looked like Travis had some kind of powers to see things differently or something. Don't know what's up with that. But anyway, that's it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Like and sub if you enjoyed, and as always, feel free to check out any of my previous videos. Until next time.